Alright folks, I'm awful sorry about this video number 2. I had a I had a farm visit. I'd take care of that. But yeah, it's a little better than 9 o'clock. Hello. Hey Fred. Alright. Alright folks. This is the condition of some of our hay ground. Leaps and bounds today. We had 80 degrees today. Pure sun. Well, pure sun at about 10 o'clock this morning. We had one hell of a hazy, misty morning, but looking real good. Pretty fair. Well, would you look at this? Cattle grazing. What a sight. We're going to take this little fence down here and we're going to take a little look at these these bunch of pigs here in just a minute. I'm going to explain to you where we are. You can see for yourselves we're behind the barn. So I'm going to talk our lingo here for a little bit. All right, this area right here is called behind the barn. That's what we call it. This is purely, solely and fully reserved for grazing. I want to say about umpteen years ago we actually probably took a little bit of hay off of here, but this is now fully and solely reserved for grazing. All these girls and a couple of these really young boys, they got let out here this morning. Everything went pretty good. It was a little hairy there for a second. And I'm going to show you why when we go up there. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, but they're just loving life. They're dry. Some of them are laying down. They're just eating grass like there's no tomorrow. They've been just a hankering for grazing here the last week. The last week, we are so lucky not to have broken down fence lines. Things just worked out okay. But yeah, we call this behind the barn. And then this here, even though we are behind the barn, we call this field Kuthas. Remember, I'm sharing with you our lingo. The reason we call it Kuthas is there used to be a trailer just beyond that tree line there with the last name Kutha. Great people, great neighbors. They moved on. No more than a couple miles from here. But this field here is reserved for first crop cutting hay. Of course, this is all going to go in round bales. Maybe some squares. We'll see what happens. And then this is completely reserved after first crop cutting. This is reserved for grazing as well, which can be grazed, Mother Nature dependent, up to 3 times the remainder of the year. And of course, this is a very big block here. Big enough where we don't bother splitting it up into little sections. We really don't treat this as a paddock that can be split in sections. Maybe at some point that might have to be done. True Testament's going to come this year with the addition of head of cattle. We're going to see what happens. Otherwise, Mother Nature dependent, we are good for about 3 more grazing sessions in this big block that last up to 4 or 5 days. 5 days is really pushing it, especially when you open up a whole block to them. They kind of get a little greedy, but yeah. That's a hunting blind right there. In fact, I believe I've shot a little video out of there before. In fact, even this past year, I think. Quite a sight to see here, folks. Hope you enjoy this, because this is just a beautiful time of year. As you know, the cow yard and the cow lot are just mucky messes. There's not hardly a dry spot to be had. And, these girls been pretty uncomfortable for a while, but we had to wait. No more waiting. Today they got their wish and they started grazing. They're going to be back here for about 3 days. Not I doubt 4. And then we're going to open it up to the North Hill. Now, I shot a video just the other day. In fact, I kind of lied to you. I told you that we were going to ship them up on the North Hill to start grazing. With the addition of the Holstein heifers just yesterday, things were pretty cantankerous over there. The beef herd was checking them out. They were going a little bit crazy. We figured it was best just to kick them out here behind the barn, let everybody settle down just a little bit, and then within days to come, when everybody's familiar, they'll be hitting the North Hill for 3 days or better, and then we'll start the paddock system. I look forward to sharing quite a few videos of grazing this year. Of course, in those videos you'll see a lot of calves. Well, let's take a gander and a gamble. We're going to leave this down, but we're going to keep our eye on it over here, because if they start running here, whew, a little bit of power there. Don't pee on the fence. Red, damn near lost Red, but he's alive and kicking. Wily little son of a gun. New calf. I'll be damned. That is great. Beautiful calf at that. What the hell are you screaming about? You got life made. Oh, I think we know who Mama is. Or do we? Folks, I promise you that calf did not exist about 5, 6, 7 hours ago. So that's great. Good stuff. Nice little surprise. Well, folks, as you can tell by the purple tag, this is one of the bulls that's been held back right here. Hey, buddy. Mom, you're okay, for God's sakes. Jesus. All right. So what the hell is this beautiful wagon of corn silage sitting here for? Well, it was a little tricky here this morning. I'll spare you the details, but we had decided it was good for an enticement. And it did. It worked out really well. There's a little problem here that can get pretty tricky, okay? All right, you got what I'm going to call three quad here. You got the cow yard, the cow lot, speaking our lingo here now, and then behind the barn. Well, this is three corners right here. The problem is, in the cow yard, there's no opening over here. The opening is better than halfway down this fence line. Well, a good 50% of all these cattle were over here this morning, and it was pretty tricky. So we decided to grab the wagon, fill it with some corn silage, which they could use a little help anyway, so that we can, by God, hopefully make this property last a good 4 days off of grazing. We went ahead and filled up a cart. This is their last bout of corn silage. These animals here, these animals will not see corn silage again until, let's just say maybe November. But, yeah, I should have took a video here earlier. All the calves, they kind of had their own little clique over here. Damn near all the calves were right here all day today. And of course I hit this manure pile for a while today. I took quite a few loads out of here. Then I had that breakdown that I don't want to talk about. But yeah, tomorrow's schedule, I plan on hitting the manure hard until noon. And then come noon, right before lunch, I'm going to go ahead and check out the primary corn silage field. And if I deem it correctly and ready, I'm going to go ahead and disc it, get that step out of the way. Even though we got a pile of rain coming, supposedly, which we're going to get. On Monday, Memorial Day, which will stop everything for a while again. I'm going to bide my time and at least get it disked. I'm not really too worried if it gets really packed, if we get a big amount of rain. It's number one, corn's going in there. Number two, I'll be roughing it up again with the culti-mulcher. So I'm going to gamble and go ahead and get that disked up. Put that new to me disc to work, for crying out loud. Yeah, you're looking at pure serenity here with these animals. Folks, we got to watch it. I did leave that gate down. We might abruptly have to end this video. If I see anybody over there, I got to hurry up and get my butt over there. That was kind of stupid, to be honest with you. Yeah. Hey, little girl. Some comments and information would be real nice. I'm asking for it. I don't have all the answers. Folks, I got a bull inside the barn right now, the bigger one. You know, actually, I think I lied to you. Maybe I told you afterwards. I think originally on a video I told you that he came in at 93%. He came in at 96. And you can tell the job that he did last year here. Well, here's the deal. As far as I'm concerned, I got one hell of a bull inside the barn right now. Well, this is year number 2 for him. 2 and out. What the hell's a person do? You know, I'm in the business right now of keeping on growing a little bit more. And of course, that's keeping back the own farm's heifers. I can't absolutely stomach the thought of selling off these are farm heifers and bringing new ones in, different ones in. I'm sorry, I can't even stomach it. But what does a person do? You get a bull like that to test that well. And of course my education isn't all there. It might be full of baloney, but you want to continue and keep him at least for another year. Well, you keep a whole bunch of these heifers back, or all of them. You can't do that. I don't know. I think my explanation isn't very good. I think everybody understands what I'm trying to say here. I don't know what to do. Or do you just keep all the heifers, these little heifer calves, and sell that bull off next year when he hopefully does flying colors again with a fertility test? Yeah, he's worth a couple bucks. Proof is in the pudding. The proof is all around us, folks. Little sneak job. Hey, you. That's about it, folks. This is the end of the cattle tour. It's getting a little bit late. It'll be dark here in no more than about 25 minutes. Hope you enjoyed the videos. I kind of was on about a 2-day break there. Things got pretty busy. Things are a little hectic right now, but they're getting better. They're all right. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this site. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long winter, long spring. This feels fantastic. I'm out here in one of my dirty white t-shirts, which I think is pretty cool. Weather's nice. It is today. It's supposed to be a pretty nice day tomorrow too. High of 70. It's not going to be quite what it was today, but it'll be another good day of dry down, which is what we need so severely bad right now. As far as I'm concerned, if anybody's still watching, I touched on a video a couple videos ago about my concern with crops. And yeah, I've been blamed about, being a worrywart. Well, there's a reason to be a worrywart. I've come up with the date of June 15th. June 15th, if we're still battling mucky fields, can't get in there appropriately, whatever corn I don't have in, I'm not putting in. June 15th. That's my date right now as we talk. What would I do? Sorghum. Sorghum for chopping and putting in the silo. My primary sorghum field with that good seed that I bought, that BMR hybrid, that is going into wrap bales, hell or high water, no bones about it. But if I can't get my other corn in by the 15th of June, then it's going to go into sorghum, and it's going to be chopped and thrown up in the 18-footer. I hope that doesn't happen. If it does, we'll take it as a positive, and we'll just say it'd be a real nice test. I personally have never dealt with any chopped sorghum. Well, you're looking kind of rough, huh? You still got a calf to spit out yet. You too. All right, I better get back to that fence line here, folks. I'll take you with me for a little ride. We'll look at the herd again, then I got to shut this down. It's getting late, kind of, sort of. I've had a long day. Hey, little girl. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope your weekend's well. Everybody's doing okay. It's a bald eagle right there. What it's doing is it's looking for afterbirth. That might be gross to some is, but that's just nature, folks. There you go, a nest in that. No. Those bigger birds, especially an eagle, they really play hell on these cattle. That upsets the absolute hell out of them. I gotta admit, it's kind of funny to watch. The eagle doesn't mean any harm to the calves. I've heard some horror stories though. I've never seen any harm meant to the calves. What they're after is they're after the afterbirth. And it really upsets these cows. It's not supposed to be funny, but you can just sit there and watch it and kind of chuckle just a little bit. But folks, have a good night. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the mosquitoes are out. It's that time of year. Son of a gun, I'm not ready for that. I hate them damn little things. We'll make a little video tomorrow sometime. Something, spreading manure. Hopefully running that disc. You'll be able to see that. And we'll go from there. Talk to you sooner or later.